What's up, you guys? Brian Felder here with another episode of The Adventures of an Entrepreneur. So whether you work for someone, whether you own your own business, or whether you own multiple businesses, the goal is to go ahead and bring other entrepreneurs on the show to give us strategy, tips, successes, challenges, and just give us stories of their history, their future, their present, on how they became successful in what they do. And then hear their stories of the challenges that they face. So make sure you make sure you hit subscribe, and we're gonna dive right in. And you guys strap in, lock down, helmet on, get ready. This is gonna be a wild ride. You're gonna meet someone that I admire so much and what he's accomplished and things that he's done in his business and where he's been and where he's going. So please welcome Todd from Monumental Pest. How you doing, T?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me.
You know what's funny? How long have we known each other?
Going on 6 months, 7 months?
Actually, it probably has been like 7 months. And it's funny because I call you T, instead of calling you Todd, like it's not like Todd is drawn out. It's not like Todd, but it's T, and T is so natural for me.
You called me T within the first 5 minutes of meeting you.
Actually, that does sound like, okay, you're right.
May have been 3 minutes. May have been 3 minutes.
You know what? 3 minutes may be the fastest I've ever abbreviated someone's name. But Todd, and it's so weird for me to call you Todd when I know you as T. T, tell us a little bit about your background. Where'd you grow up?
So I grew up down in Woodbridge, Virginia.
I didn't. You know what? I did know that. Yeah. Woodbridge, Virginia.
Yeah, good old Woodbridge.
And where'd you go to high school?
I went to, two high schools. I went to Potomac down in Woodbridge. Okay. And then when moved out of Woodbridge, went up to Springfield and finished at West Springfield.
I did not know. I went to Lake Braddock.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
so I did rugby with the Lake Braddock and Robinson and West Springfield all had a rugby team combined together.
I did not know. Dude, you have done so much. We're about to dive into
Let's get it.
You are amazing, which is awesome. So tell us a little bit about Monumental. Like, what is Monumental? What do you guys do? What do you guys focus in on? Like, what are you guys?
So Monumental Pest Control. So we are full residential pest control company, full commercial pest control company, full wildlife pest control company. You know, everyone always asks, what do you do? Or can you take care of this? Can you take care of that? The easiest way to know what we do and what we do not take care of is we do everything but bears.
You said everything but bears?
Everything but bears. So you just ask yourself, can Monumental take care of this? Is it a bear? No, they can do it.
Okay, why not bears?
We're not allowed to.
Oh, like endangered species, like whatever.
Yeah, it's mostly the DWR and with the state and just not allowing us to handle bears, but I'd love to though. Be pretty awesome.
Knowing your background, which like I said, we're about to dig into, how did Monumental start? Like where was the origin? Like
so my business partner, who I gave him his first job when he was 16 years old. So my background is my brother and I started a pretty staple company around the area called Pev's Paintball. So we started that back in 1992. And then my business partner, Chad, I gave him his first job when he turned 16 at the paintball park. Okay. And he was my go-to guy, the hustler, the guy I could rely on anything on. And so I lost him to pest control. He went to a local company and stayed there for 15 years and just, he's a genius. His work ethic is through the roof. So he approached me during, right at the start of the pandemic. Said, hey man, he goes, I got an opportunity of a lifetime. You taught me everything I know. You want to help me out? I'm like, you're damn right I do. Let's go, man. Let's do this.
So this is pre-pandemic or
right at the pandemic?
Right at pandemic.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that are like, pandemic's hitting, I'm not starting anything. What made him and you take the leap to be like, we're going to go counter culture and we're going to go ahead and we're going to launch a business during the biggest pandemic ever?
Yeah, so the idea sparked during the pandemic.
Okay.
And so what we realized is pest control is recession proof and it's pandemic proof. So everyone's at home. They see the spider on the ceiling. They see the carpet beetle in the shoe molding. And they're seeing stuff they've never saw before because they're at home 24/7. And so mama's not going to have a bug in her house, especially my wife. There's no bugs in our house or around our house or within a mile from our house.
So it's funny, today we were moving and the team, our real estate team, we're moving into new office space. And we're undoing this new couch or whatever. We're taking it out of the box and all of a sudden this little black, I don't even know what the bug was, jumped out. I've never seen people jump up as high I thought people were doing the Matrix. Like there are some Keanu Reeves literally jumping, doing like high jumps. I was like, guys, it's a little bug, but I get it. And you're right. Most people are like, I ain't doing bugs. Like, so the crazy part is, so you guys were like, we identified an opportunity in the marketplace where most people are shrinking and most people are like, I am not growing. I need to go ahead and conserve. You guys are like, why don't we come together? Why don't we identify an opportunity that we can go that basically there's always going to be a need for, and it's pest service. And so the type of pest service that you guys do, where do you guys service? Like,
So we do everywhere from Stafford to Baltimore.
Oh, Maryland,
So-
D.C., Virginia.
Oh, Maryland, D.C., Virginia.
And when you say, like, your business is pretty competitive. Your industry is pretty
Extremely competitive.
How did you guys identify, like the pink? Why you guys are all pink? Every time I see you, you're pink.
Yeah, so our colors are gray and pink. Obviously, a little bit of black. So there's some story to it. So my business partner's wife has brain cancer. So that's where the gray comes from. All of our shirts have gray ribbons on the back of them. Our trucks all have gray cancer ribbons on the back of them. My mom, breast cancer survivor. My wife and I is our best friend, Michelle, breast cancer survivor. So that's what the pink ribbons are for, and that's where the pink's coming from. So, and it's also it's easier to go up to a home or a restaurant or a commercial property in our beautiful gray and pink trucks that don't scream bugs. There's not a bug on our truck. You look at our truck and you'd have to read it to know it's pest control. But they're sleek, they're sexy. And so when it's sitting in front of your house, your neighbors aren't going, they have a mouse problem or they have a roach problem. You have no idea. It's clean and sexy.
So that's something that's really important, that when you start your business, to really identify ways to differentiate, but also be discreet enough to know your industry so well that when you do go service consumer or business, you're not bringing extra attention like you guys were really smart about, that says, oh, don't come to my place of business. Don't come to my house because it may have some infestation or bugs or whatever. But like when you launch your own business, be very thoughtful of your branding and marketing. That's really, really like outside the box. Like that's stuff a lot of people don't think about initially. Even maturity, like when a business is mature, they're like, how do we redefine? You guys defined your business way up front by going to colors, and then you brought it to causes that people, breast cancer, brain cancer, that you can resonate with, which really sparks like this. Even though I may not feel like going to work today, I'm going to do it because I serve a greater purpose. And there's a way to get back. So like that to me is freaking phenomenal, which is so amazing. I would say if you were going to say, you guys have been in business 4 years, 5 years?
3.
3 years. So really launched 3 years ago. So when you guys launched, like,
Well, I take that back. The idea launched 3 years ago.
Idea launched 3
The
years
idea.
ago. So when did you actually officially launch?
So the official launch was just 16 months ago.
So you guys, post-pandemic, had an idea during the pandemic, really started formulating the idea like 3 years ago, and then launched not even 2 years ago. Okay. And you guys are taking market share. You're disrupting your industry. How are you guys doing that? Because the one thing about you, Todd, that I love is you think outside the box. Like we came in today into the studio and you're giving me like coffee mugs and ball caps, and don't ever say ball caps, by the way. You always want to say hats unless you're wearing a ball cap and a baseball uniform, which I learned. But you are always thinking outside the box. Where did that come from?
The paintball industry, taught me that. And I mean, even right now, you look parched. I think you should have a Monumental water bottle.
And so now he's giving me a pink water bottle with gray suction, whatever you put your lips on, which is so amazing. I don't even know what it's called, which is great. I don't know if I'm putting my lips on it right now, but I will put it on.
And you also need some coffee. Here's some ice cold coffee.
And we got some coffee.
Some ice cold coffee.
This is not about me, but it is about MP. So definitely
It's all about the marketing.
It is all about the marketing. You know what? I've just started drinking iced coffee, so it's really amazing.
And I know you're not an alcohol guy, so I brought you some tea.
So we even got some tea. You know what? I feel like I need to start bringing you some stuff. And this is some peach tea, which is really good. Let me ask this. Where does this come from? The marketing ideas.
Me. It's my business partner. He's the brain behind the chemicals and the processes and the technicians, and I bring the marketing value to it just from my experience in paintball. In paintball, my brother and I, we grew it to 16 locations across the country. And that's why, if you ever mention the word paintball, in Northern Virginia, Maryland, oh, Pebs.
People know your
It just-
guys' company.
Just with our swag, our shirts, our stickers, it just,
Well, it's awesome, Todd. You think about it. You guys have been so successful, and like even in 16 months, like we use you all the time. You guys are taking care of my own house. But I think what's really, really important, what's really impressive, is that your partner has certain skills and certain skill set, ops, running the business, maybe from more the financial, behind the scenes. You're more the branding and marketing and sales, and like, how do I make impact? So when you run your own business or launch your own business, it's all about how do I make impact to leave a lingering, lasting impression. I think that's so powerful. And then you guys, it sounds like you balance out one another where there's not a lot of overlap. There's more collaboration than there is like conflict. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
It definitely keeps us both working on the business instead of in the business. And that's where I feel, a lot of people go wrong, is they're constantly focusing on working in the business. You just can't do that. And I learned that the hard way in paintball. I was always in the business.
That's right.
And it was a slow growth.
It's funny. I've met with a lot of different business owners and entrepreneurs, and the common theme is you got to get to a point in your business where, yes, you got to grind. Yes, you got to do the in the business. But if you don't have time to be on the business and really put some thought and strategy and just thinking, strategic thinking, you will always be stuck. You cannot really grow because you're always in this mode of, I'm going to grind, I got to work for the day, work for the day, work for the day. You guys have done such a good job of like not only branding and marketing, but planting seeds that you guys are on this growth path. Like today, how many trucks do you guys have?
We have 9 trucks.
You have 9 trucks in 16 months.
And 15 full-time employees.
And 15 full-time employees in 16 months. Okay. I can tell you right now, I do not know a lot of companies that have that kind of growth and and gain that much market share that quickly. What would you say the one thing that makes you different from your competitors?
We answer the phone, and our customer service is through the roof.
Answer the phone.
Answer the phone.
Most people do not answer the phone in your industry.
It's unreal, the amount of phone calls that we get, because we called, we emailed, we did the online request, and it's crickets.
No response.
No response, and it's sometimes it takes a day or two. We get a phone call by 12 o'clock on a day. We're servicing your house by 3 o'clock. It's just go, 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 go. It's just.
Now that's a system, right? There's people that are running businesses like yours that obviously do not have systems in place. And that is a testament to you and your partner of like, hey, we want to make sure that people are heard, they're responded to, they're acknowledged, and then we want to be able to go ahead and serve them potentially even same day. That is absolutely a differentiator. Most cases, if I called 5 pest control companies, you're right. I may be able to get a couple of them on the phone, but the reality is they're not coming out same day. That's not happening. Maybe not even the next day.
Not happening.
And so, super awesome from there. What do you love about the business? If you were like, I love the business because, what would you say?
So people always ask that question is, do you like bugs? Do you like mice? Do you like rats? I go, no, but I love the outcome that our service gives to the customer. They're happy. They're relieved. There's no more stress on their shoulders. You have it's gratifying. So our service, our results give someone an amazing,
Experience.
Experience. So when we leave, we've solved the problem. There's no more stress. It's just every person's happy. Everybody loves the bug guy.
So you think about it, and that's called impact. And so there's a philosophy I live by in my real estate career that's all about find the pain, solve the pain. I actually do presentations on it. It's kind of crazy, but you identify the pain that people are having, and then when you solve it, people are blown away because they either couldn't solve it themselves, they didn't know how to solve it, they didn't have the time to do it, or they just didn't want to. And so you've identified pain for people, and then when you go and you solve it, you have the impact. And the impact then leads into referrals or additional business or service contracts, which is really cool. So in 16 months, you have so many trucks, so many employees. What's the 3-year, 5-year plan? Like, how big are you guys looking to grow?
So we sat down and put a 5-year plan down and worked backwards from that. So where are we going to be at? So how do we get to year 3? How do we get to year 2? How do we get to year 4? So what do we have to do to get to that point? And so we already knew what we had to, and our 16 months, we're already at year 3 where we expected to be in 16 months.
That's crazy. Actually, and so the goal is to continue to grow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna
It's not maintain. It's not just to serve. It's to really grow.
really grow.
What made you, if you had to say, when you left Pevs and you want to go ahead and you said, I'm going into the pest with Chad, and you want to like create this partnership, how did you know to say, okay, we're going to go ahead, we're going to do it this way compared to other people? Like, did you get the experience by like paying attention? Did you lean into your partner's experience? Did you have any experience with like pest service or pest control, or like any of that?
So just learning from my business partner Chad, he is absolutely brilliant. It's amazing his work ethic. He's 7 days a week just like I am. He's all hours a day. Is business first. Customer service is number one. Reaction turnaround time is number one. It's expectations, and knowing everyone is just slow to the game. Just you beat them to the punch, and it's.
So you guys grind.
Oh,
you guys are like.
We get it.
If I give you meat, you could grind some meat.
Yeah.
Like you meat grinders. I don't know if I call you a meat grinder.
I'd probably stay away from them.
Yeah, I probably would stay away from them.
Got a little weird for a second.
That did get a little weird. You know what? Do you want your tea back? Or your bug? Or
No.
I'm just, you enjoy your, you know what? And I love that you're drinking from an MP freaking custom branded mug. I'm going to switch starting tomorrow. That's great.
Everywhere I go.
What do you do for fun? What's fun?
So spend time with my family, my friends.
Family includes wife.
So we're a blended family.
Okay.
So we got 6 kids.
Woo! What's the ages?
So my wife's gonna hate this. So it's 32.
Okay.
I have a 32-year-old, and I have a 12-year-old.
Okay.
My wife has 17-year-old, 14, and twins that are 12. So we have triplets. So we have 3 12-year-olds in the house.
That makes it very interesting.
And
yes.
my oldest son may or may not be closer to my wife's age than I am.
Love that, T. So we'll be
I
editing
really want to pat
that
myself on the back for
which
that
is
one.
yeah, go. That's awesome. Because how old are you?
I am 52.
Do you feel it?
No, I still feel 30.
Is you,
awesome.
Your energy and who you are, what I know about you, you do not act 52. And you just bring this energy whenever I've seen you in different networking events or just whenever we've met. You make people smile and you make people feel really at ease. And I don't think that is an easy thing to do. I think as a business owner, it's even harder because there's so much stress. When you run a business, so much stress of like operations, financial, sales, marketing, like culture, like there's so much going on. And in your line of work, being service, right? You're not really a product, you're more of a service.
Correct.
You got to make sure like services are done the same way from the same people, from your employees repetitively. Like that's all systems and processes. But I've never seen you stress. And so you have just done such a good job of building the practice in such a short amount of time. And I know the future's super bright. So what do you say? I love spending time with the family. What do you guys do with 27 kids?
It's
I'm just kidding.
It's funny. So my wife always says, we got 17 kids, but we just do crazy stuff. We're all into dirt bikes and obviously paintball. So the kids love coming out doing paintball, and I built a motocross track around the paintball park. So we go up there and just rip it up on dirt bikes and electric bikes, and love going down to the beach. Back in the paintball days, I had so many locations. My brother and I had so many locations across the country. We had a bunch in New York and Pennsylvania and Maryland, where I got my pilot's license, so I fly airplanes. So I'll just fly up to New York and go to some of my locations. We fly to Ocean City, have lunch or something like that, and love flying there. If it has a motor, I'm into it. And we do car rallies. The wife and I get in the car. We do these car rallies. We race from Connecticut to Canada and back with 50 other supercars, and we just go get it on. It's amazing. And my wife drives our car. We have a Nissan GTR, and she drives it like she stole it. I mean, it's impressive the way this girl drives. I'm like, damn, girl.
Okay.
She's impressive.
Actually, you know what? Does MP sponsor the car for the car rallies?
Yes.
MP should,
Yes.
for sure. If you guys don't, that's just
Yeah.
another branding tip I just had.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. If you're going to give a tip of like, you've had a lot of growth very quickly, T, in 16 months. Like, what would be a tip for someone who is either owns a current business and they're really trying to get scale, or someone that's working for someone they're really trying to like launch on their own and have immediate success, right? Like, what would be a tip or two that you think would be good?
It's finding that that fine line of, like I said earlier, working on the business and not in the business. You got to find the happy medium, because again, once you start working in the business, you're stuck. It's a long road to get out of it.
For sure.
It's a long road, and I learned the hard way in the previous business. Back in the day, because I was just so young. But I mean, if I can go back in time to
You
the
would've worked more on the
yeah.
business. And what does that mean when you say work on the business? Give me what that means to you when you say work on the business. Like, what would be an action or a strat or like something you do to work on the business?
Just the networking part of it, the relationships, staying on top of the service and the expectations and your business model. When you start working in a business, you lose focus on what's going on around you, and your service will fail, expectations will fail because you're not on it, you're in it.
Sales will go down.
It go down, yeah, tremendously.
If you're not working on the branding and the growth and the marketing, but also just, are there tweaks in the business that we can do? One thing I have a quick question about is AI is really big right now. Like everyone's talking about Chat GPT, and it's GPT this and Claude this and Gemini that. And have you guys done anything with AI yet, or you guys are just starting to look at it, or have you guys implemented or like integrated?
So we're experimenting, because it's one of the things where you got to do it. Everyone else is doing it. So we're doing our own research on it, studying it, talking to some friends who are experiencing, doing some experiences with it. Like we just had a vendor come in about some marketing, a local cable company, just popped in the office, and then about getting some radio advertisement, some TV advertisements, and those kind of stuff. And the dude went out to his truck, and 7 minutes later sent us a 30-second commercial. Using AI. AI.
That's impressive.
And I'm like, it's scary.
That's impressive. We've really integrated it, and a lot of people unfortunately put AI between their business, and the client. And I think it's really important that the AI is behind your business and helps you fuel the connection to your clients better. So where are the inefficiencies? Where are the ways that we can enhance our branding or our marketing? And so as you dig deeper into it, you're going to see that it's actually a tool or resource that can help elevate and level up your business, not actually disconnect you from your client. And so used properly, I think in your business, especially with the growth that you guys have had, you can integrate AI and leverage it to really help you guys not only gain market share, but also help reinforce your guys' brand, which I think would be really good. If you're going to tell the audience one thing that you have been challenged with, what is one challenge that you've experienced that you were like, this was really hard when I first started, this has been really hard in the past 16 months? What would be a challenge?
It's finding the right people with the skill, I wouldn't say skill set, the work ethic that I expect from my upbringing. Is my dad, who taught me everything I know. His work ethic was just crazy. He's just so street smart. I mean, I didn't go to college. Out of high school, with my brother, started a paintball company.
Yeah.
Barely graduated high school. My dad, same thing. He had a struggle. He'd lived with his grandparents from the time he was 12, raised his brother and sister, and just hustled and worked his way up. And just the hustle, you don't see the hustle out there anymore.
You don't.
And work ethic, the expectations of just gimme is, I mean, it's scary.
Well, it's funny you say that. On a previous episode, I was talking to a gentleman that owns a landscaping company. I said, what's your biggest challenge? He said, people. Finding the right people. And I hear that over and over. Like, I'm very selective. We're very selective on who we bring on in our teams and who we want to go ahead and align with. And it literally is like, hey, we're going to do our due diligence. We want to know that there's a level of expectation and hunger and level of service that you want to invest in and integrate to be able to make impact. And I think when it comes down to it, whether you're in your service line of business, whether you're in real estate, landscape, it doesn't matter. Whatever the business is, you really have to identify those people that really align with your core values and the goals that you want, they want to accomplish personally, and then do they align with the company's goals? And so I agree with you. I think the hardest part is identifying those people. And when you find them, invest everything you got into them, right? Like, do whatever you can for them, for sure. T, what would be the best way for people to get a hold of you? Like, how do people call Monumental Pest?
So it's through our web portals, my phone, email. I mean, it's
What's the website?
monumentalpest.com.
Monumentalpest.com.
Monumentalpest.com, and we're doing Facebook, Instagram, all the platforms, Google. Yeah, just get us anywhere.
And then one lasting thing I would ask, if someone's on the fence about launching a business, what would be the one piece of advice that you'd give them? What would be if people are like, I'm in a job I'm not really happy in, but it pays the bills, it gives me benefits, whatever. Or maybe they own a business and they're struggling a little bit. Like, what would be one piece of advice that you could like be like, hey, this is what I would tell you? What would you tell them?
The end game of doing something you love is worth every drop of sweat, every drop of blood. It's the end game is worth it. And it's not easy. It's most people, they go and start their own business with expectations. Oh, I'm going to make so much money in 2 or 3 years. In 16 months, my employees are making more money than I am.
For sure.
Because we take everything and just reinvest. Like you said, we reinvest in our employees. They're the highest paid pest control employees in the industry.
Sure.
And so it's reinvest new trucks, just everything is just the latest and greatest. If I can't provide my guys the right tools, we can't succeed.
Yeah.
So my business partner, we're on the back burner. Those guys, we're here because of my guys.
And they're the priority.
Yeah, it's what they need, they get.
So you're saying, if I can rephrase, the why has to be so great that there is benefit and there is the impact that you can have in the lifestyle that you want to create. Just know that it's going to be a grind. You're going to sweat and you're going to bite and it's going to scratch, you're going to claw and all that good stuff, but it's worth it, correct?
It is worth it.
It's awesome. Todd, thank you so much. I've called your name Todd more times than I've
it's
ever
weird.
called you.
I don't like it.
Thing.
I don't like
tell
it.
you, like I don't like it either. Like,
I never want you to do that again.
Don't you worry, T, because that was it. Never again will I hear TODD. But you've been awesome. You know what? Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, man.
I appreciate you, and I love you, and we're gonna help you succeed and grow and get those referrals to you. So thank you so much.
Yeah, if you guys didn't catch it, and on our logos, if you look long and hard, right in the middle of the M and the P, there's the Washington Monument right in the middle of it.
It's awesome. It's
good.
all about branding and marketing.
Yep.
I love it. Tate, thank you so much.
All right, for sure.
Cool.